A conservative televangelist and convicted felon has popped back up on everyone's radar as he begs people to give him money so that he won't end up on the street. That's all well and good, but wait until you hear how much he's demanding.
If they foreclose on this ministry, they will take my house too, so I will be in the street.
Well, that won't happen. God's too big for that.
But I don't care. I mean, I've never been in the street. But I've never seen the righteous forsaken or a seed out begging for bread. That's you.
Amen.
That's you.
Amen.
God will stand with you if you stand with him.
Amen.
That's why it's important that you obey God. And I need about 1,000 people that will give right now. Some can maybe not give the $1,000, but you can give $100.
That's right, the seed offering.
And I want you to mail it in right now.
So yeah, he alluded to that there. He's asking for 1,000 people to give up to $1,000. Okay, he doesn't want to be thrown on the street. I get that. I don't want anyone to be unhoused. He wants $1 million. Like, you get that if you got $5,000, you could rent a really nice place, right? You could do that. Like, sure, you'd have lost your church or whatever, it's foreclosed on, you don't have your house, that's sad. But like a couple $1,000 and you're not actually out on the street. You're not owed another mansion. But look at the tactics he uses to browbeat people, many of whom probably don't have $1,000 just sitting around burning a hole in their bank account to give to him. He says, God will stand with you if you stand with him. But he's not asking you to stand with God, he's asking you to stand with him. He wants your money. He's not saying donate it to a charity, donate it to even Christians or whatever in need. Give me your money. And the other guy, I don't know who that bozo is, but when he's like, it's not gonna happen, you're not gonna get foreclosed on, God is too big for that. But like, could we pause and think about what you're saying there? Like that this guy who, he's done all sorts of crazy stuff that we'll remind people of. Again, convicted felon. So I think God maybe could let this one get foreclosed on. Do you understand, dude, that lots of people have lost their homes? There are many, many unhoused people right now. So was God not big enough for that? Or is it that God did not save everyone, either chose not to or wasn't capable of it? Why would Jim Bakker, the televangelist, why would he be so special? A guy who, aside from the time he spent in prison, has lived a pretty nice life with other people donating to provide that life. Why is he still at this late age owed so much more than the people who have never gotten that sort of charity, who have lived lives that are actually difficult, did not just con people and eventually get sent to prison? It's just such a twisted worldview. By the way, he said later on the show, Jim Bakker, I guarantee you God's going to do something. God's gonna bless you as you give, because when you give, you're gonna receive. Again, good advice in general. What's he giving? Other than chastising you, other than shaming you, browbeating you to give him money, what is he giving back? Again, the dude had so much money for so long. But anyway, I just want to turn to why his show is in the position it's in. So one of his show's co-hosts indicated the financial problems began back in 2020 when Bakker was in trouble with a number of authorities for hawking silver solution during the COVID-19 pandemic. So yes, he's one of those people. In one case, he reached a settlement with Missouri Attorney General that included restitution of $156,000, which is a significant amount of money. And I want to remind everyone that he has fallen pretty far. You may not even be really familiar with him because it's been a long time since he was super famous. But back in the 1980s, he was one of the most prominent televangelists around the country. He had a Heritage USA theme park, like his own theme park. It was the third most visited theme park in 1986 after just Disneyland and Disney World. His theme park had 6 million visitors in 1 year. And now he's on TV begging people to give him $1 million or whatever. So it has really fallen apart. But again, I've alluded to the fact that he's a felon. So really fast, why was that? Well, in the late 1980s, things started to fall apart. Former aide Jessica Hahn admitted that she and Bakker had an affair. Hardly moral behavior, prompting condemnation from other well-known televangelists like Jimmy Swaggart. Bakker was also indicted on federal charges of mail fraud and wire fraud in 1988, with the Department of Justice alleging that the money used to build Heritage USA had come from the Bakkers defrauding their audience. He was found guilty, sentenced to 45 years in prison. His sentence was eventually dropped down to just 8 years and he was released in 1994, but has never been able to reach the lofty heights of the past years. We'll see, maybe if people donate enough, he can get that theme park up and running again, it doesn't seem likely at this point.